Happy Wednesday. Is everyone doing? I hope you're doing good. Yes, I've had a busy day. But I'm here with you and I'm happy to say happy business nights with Antonia. Yes, I spit hot rhymes. All right, everyone. I'm so excited to see you on this special Black History Month Wednesday. Super excited. It's February. I did not mention Black History Month on Monday. I was waiting on purpose for Wednesday. Why? Because our foodie Javon is here and she's going to give us some additional information about Black History Month with her special dish that she'll be making for us tonight. In addition to that, we also have an awesome special guest talking about something that I absolutely 100% love hearing about, reading about, and also reading when it's put in front of me. Our special guest is going to be talking about all things copywriting. So make sure you stay close to your phone, computer, laptop, wherever. If you're watching us on YouTube, your YouTube, so that you don't miss a beat. So let's go ahead and get into the business relevant topic for tonight. So I posted it this week on my Facebook page, either today or yesterday, about an article about how Mr. Bezos from Amazon has resigned as CEO of Amazon. I am like dying. Why? Another Facebook group that I was in this week asked me about what I want to achieve in 2021. And one of the things that I said is I want to be able to have more leaders in my organization so I can eventually fire myself, so I can work on and foster more things that I want to do outside of Assist You. However, I did not know that me and Mr. Bezos were thinking the same thing, right? So I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. He is not going to be relinquishing his title until July of this year, but he did cite the reason why he wanted to step out of being the CEO of Amazon is because he really wants to focus on his other passion projects. And that's something that I really, really love to read about and to know that, you know, real people out here who are not billionaires, like me, not yet, are thinking along the same lines of big business moguls, right? The goal of creating a business, a really good business, is to create a legacy for yourself and for your family, and also to create jobs. And definitely he's done that. And to give back, definitely he's done that. And then also to eventually fire yourself so you can ultimately live the lifestyle that you want for yourself. So that is definitely something that I'm interested in learning more about. And I just want to say congratulations to you, Mr. Bezos. You get a lot of bad rap for, you know, taxes and marriages and things of that nature. But I will say I love the business acumen that he seems to always have. So cool beans. I love it. All right, so let's go ahead and move into the Hi, Antonia. So it actually just came from a training that I was just conducting. Someone on the training, we were talking about social media. One of their questions was, hey, Antonia, do I have to be on camera? Do I have to show myself on my social media pages? And the answer that I gave them, I'm going to give you guys the answer is no. If you decide that you don't like taking pictures, you don't like being on video, you don't want to be in the forefront, you don't have to. Okay? It's fine. You don't have to. This particular person wants to use an animal as, you know, one of the images that they are consistently showing on their social media pages. That's totally 100% fine. There is no social media police that's going to come and say, hey, we don't see your teeth, or we don't see your face, or you haven't posted a picture of your child or your cat in a while. No. The people who are your tribe, who are going to follow you, stick with you, and engage with you, they're going to understand, hopefully, because you explained it, they're going to understand you and appreciate you and the value that you give in the space that you are creating. You don't have to be all out there if you don't want to. And don't let anybody tell you you have to. Okay? Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and move into Antonia's 2 cents. Okay, you guys. So something that I learned, a very valuable lesson today, is to make sure that you are using your calendar. So I use my calendars. I manage calendars for my clients. I I can tell just about anything about a client. When's their next dentist appointment, doctor's appointment? When's the last time they actually spoke to somebody on the phone? I got that down pat. But for myself, for my personal life, it just didn't happen today. I purposely set out clothes and ironed them because I wanted to know what outfit I was wearing today. But I constantly felt like I was rushing today because I didn't give myself enough travel time, and I didn't give myself enough time to like do things, normal things like eat or go to the restroom inside of my calendar. And it is 100% my fault. I do have an executive assistant that I oftentimes tell him to put things on my calendar, but I just didn't give myself any grace. So I'm putting myself on punishment a little bit for that. And I'm going to definitely learn my lesson because it doesn't work for anybody if I'm exhausted. So, especially if I'm hungry, I'm not a happy camper. So, all right. So that is my Antonia's 2 cents. It had nothing to do with business. Well, a little bit. Time management is very key in all things life and business. So I learned that a very hard lesson today. Okay. So I want to go ahead and introduce our guest before our foodie of the week, Ms. Javon, comes out. So chefish. I absolutely love her. She has a scrumptious item that she is making for us today. I'm so excited to see what it is and get jealous all over again. Every Wednesday it happens. But let me go ahead and bring out my special guest. So before I bring her out, as you know, I have to love all over them. One of the things I really love about this woman, even though I've only met her for maybe 3 minutes, right? One of the things I love about her is she's a really good sport. She's very timely. When we were scheduling and coordinating her for this live, she was very intentional and she really wants to be here, right? She wanted to make sure that everything was in order. And I can so appreciate that, being an organizing person in my business, right? Another thing that I love about her is she's really smart and creative. Why? You're going to see her website URL in a second. Like, it's not like a, hey, I'm Deborah, throw money at me. It's not that. It is actually something that makes you think. And when you see it right off the bat, you know exactly what that business does and what they're all about. It's very smart. It's wicked smart. Let's say wicked. All right. So let me go ahead and bring out Ms. Deborah. Hi.
Hi. Oh my goodness. That was quite the introduction. Thank you so much.
You deserve it. So Ms. Deborah. Somebody even said, hi. I don't know who this is, but whoever this is, click the link up in the description so we can see your name and love on you too, right? Okay, awesome. So hi, Ms. Deborah. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm in Colorado, so I'm a couple of hours earlier than you.
Yeah.
But we've been having like spring-like weather here, and in Colorado, it could be spring-like one day and snow the next. So it's dark outside now, and it feels like it's winter. But we'll see what happens tomorrow when we wake up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that sounds a lot like Florida. It could be spring at 11. It could be summer at 1 o'clock. And then by 6, it's like a hurricane. It's here. Like it doesn't know what it wants to be. It's craziness.
It's one of those, wait 10 minutes and see what happens.
It can rain in the front of the house, but not the back of the house. You need to bring a jacket or an umbrella just in case, right? So I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing your not so late evening with us on Business Bites with Antonia. I'm super excited to get into your topic. Just so that everyone knows, because we're going to switch over to our foodie in a second, our so chefish, Ms. Javon, with Javon Eats. Today's topic is actually one that I really, really love because I cannot stand bad copy. So we're going to dive into that when we get back from cooking our very scrumptious food item. So make sure you guys stick around. Is that okay?
I'm get hungry.
I know. She does it to me every time. Here we go. Javon. Can you hear me? Hi.
Hi, can you all hear me?
Yes, I can.
I can't hear you all.
Oh no.
What
Can
about
you hear
now?
us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's awesome.
So I'm thinking we don't have the camera on the food on the plate. Can I see that, or can you turn that one on?
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. I like to see the food.
I want to see the good stuff.
I know. I mean, she's beautiful and awesome. It's just I'm
But you
hungry.
want to see what's for dinner.
Right. Or what am I gonna snack on today? And I'll just warn you and everyone else who's watching. If you feel like you, after you finish watching Javon cook this masterpiece or make this masterpiece, you're gonna feel like you can do it on your own. If you find out that you cannot, she offers classes. So
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Virtual cooking classes for children and adults.
Mhm.
And we even have matching apparel, so you can purchase aprons and shirts and pillows and socks and cook along with us. Can you see now?
No, I can't see it yet.
The joys of technology.
I know. Something happened to me the other day. Oh, I see it now. Boom.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. All right. So I am so excited today to share not just something from Black History Month, but just something that we can all benefit from. And so we're making jam without pectin. So it's a natural jam, banana flavored, because I moderate a lot of online cooking groups. And there seems to be like an abundant problem with having too many bananas. And we're tired of banana bread. I don't want a smoothie. I want banana jam on a piece of toast with toasted macadamia nuts or butter pecans and toasted coconut. Sounds Yes. Okay, so are you ready to chow on?
Yes.
Let's get started.
Okay.
So again, this easy peasy recipe calls for one banana. And it is date night with Antonia and guests. So yes, we have dates as our sweetener. Okay. We have some ginger, cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg, and then a pinch of salt. It's science. So cooking is science. We also have some lemon. So what I've done is I've started the party a little ahead, and you see that I have about a third cup of water, put banana and dates. And then instead of protein, we're going to use about a tablespoon of corn starch. Some cultures call it corn flour. I've noticed that. I'm in like international groups. And so we're going to use that actually as a thickener.
Oh my gosh. I have to zoom in.
Yeah. Okay. Don't get jealous, but I make my own vanilla. And so we're going to add about a half a teaspoon of vanilla. For some delicious flavor. We're going to add in our salt, nutmeg, and cinnamon.
Are you seeing this, Deborah?
Yes, I'm salivating.
Oh my God.
Seasoning our lemon. And our lemon. Okay, can you all hear me? Just making sure.
Yes.
Okay, so then we're going to stir that up. And this is where if you have a food processor, I'm going to use a NutriBullet really quickly and just literally pour all of the items into the NutriBullet. I do like a chunky jam, but we want to make sure that those dates, which acts as our sweetener, will be able to break down in the process.
So could you do this just in a regular like blender?
Yeah, look at that. That's it. So I'll be right back. You'll hear it.
I think she's amazing. It's always amazing. Like, wait until you see the finished product.
I wish I was there to taste the finished product.
I know. She made red velvet, like hot chocolate or smoothie one day, and it was so good.
It was chocolate tea.
It was chocolate tea.
Yeah. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so all we're going to do is we are going to just look how thick that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to put it into, you can use a repurposed jar. You know, we don't throw jars away here. I repurpose them and make them all cutesy. And this is just great for potassium, to prevent leg cramps. The dates are great for substitution for sugar, as well as fiber. And they have an amazing shelf life. They'll actually live longer than the bananas. So I'm just going to show you. That's how it looks. I always make my own jam. I make a hibiscus jam. I make a peach cobbler jam.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so we're going to dim the lights just a little because I want you to really focus in on it. And then, like I told you all, I wanted to add my toasted coconut. And then I had toasted some macadamia nuts. I mean, people are crazy about the avocado toast. You need to jam with the banana jammy jam. Call it a funky monkey. And eat it.
Oh my goodness. And watch the placement, Deborah. Look at that.
Lovely.
I want to meet Deborah. I'm coming to Colorado.
Well, you know, I used to live in Hawaii and we had banana trees. And so that recipe would have been great to use with all the bananas we had.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Well, once again, she has made it look so easy.
10 minutes or less.
Right. Go for more recipes and awesome quick things that you can make that are scrumptious and healthy. Hopefully.
Yes. This is healthy. It will last refrigerated for 4 to 6 weeks, but you all will eat it. Put it on actual other fruit, biscuits, scones.
So good. Make sure you all follow her on her YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Miss So Chefish, Miss Chalon Eats, Miss Javon. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you all. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Gosh, I'm so hungry now.
I know. Well, it's close to dinner time for me, so I'll hang up and I'll be ready to eat.
Yes. All right, Miss Deborah. So let's go ahead and get into your topic. So before our teasing ceremony with Miss So Chefish, Miss Javon with her wonderful jam, we discussed that your topic tonight is copywriting mistakes and how to avoid them. Please give us all the information we need.
Give you everything. So, you know, many people, especially startup businesses or single person businesses, when they get started, they think, oh, you know, I'm going to write my own copy. And then they get frustrated because their copy misses the mark, or they're struggling with finding just the right words to get their message across so that it resonates with their audience. And they feel confused and like, what do I do? And part of the reason that happens is, one, they should probably hire a professional copywriter. But if they don't, If they don't, I'm going to give you some points that you can follow. So one of the mistakes that people make when they start to think about writing copy is they don't really know their product. And that could be their product or their service or their program. So I'll use the word product, but it encompasses all of that. And what I mean is, for example, one of my very first clients, I ask a lot of questions as a copywriter. And every time I asked him a question, he couldn't answer it. And he said to me, if I knew the answer to those questions, then I wouldn't need you to write this brochure. So it's important for you to understand your product. Because if you are working as a copywriter, we're not mind readers. I wish I could read minds, but I can't. So what do you need to know? You need to understand what are the benefits of that product. So what's in it for me is what we say. It's WIIFM, me being your prospect or me being your customer. And so you need to think about benefits, and more benefits. How do you make people's lives easier?
Right.
So that's the mistakes that people make. Yes. What's the problem that you solve? And we'll talk about that when we talk about mistake number 2. And mistake number 2 is they don't really understand who's their ideal audience. Who is their prospect or who is their client? And we're not just talking about demographics. So you want to know, am I targeting a certain age group or a certain marital status or income group? But what's their lifestyle like? So, before COVID, did they like to go out for dinner or stay at home and cook with Javon? Or do they like to travel to the beach or to the mountains? So what can you find out about their lifestyle? But the most important mistake that people make when it comes to understanding their audience is to not really know what motivates their audience. So what has them pulling their hair out at night? What keeps your customers awake at night? What are they challenged by or struggling with? So think about, are they stressed about bills that they can't pay? Or are they worried because right now maybe they lost their job and they're having a hard time finding another one? So really see if you can get inside your customers' minds and understand what it is that they're struggling with. So one of the exercises I tell people to do in order to figure this out is to pretend that they're at their favorite coffee shop or a tea shop and they're online. And while they're waiting online, 6 feet apart, they hear the barista saying to the next customer, "How's your day?" And that customer goes, blah, 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 all the problems that they've been having. And you're sitting behind and listening and going, I have a solution for that person. So the exercise is for you to imagine you are sitting at a table one-on-one across from that person, and you're listening to what they're saying. What is the problem they're having? What are the challenges? What are their frustrations? You're not sitting there and selling them. You're listening. And then think about how you would respond. And when you're done visualizing it, write those things down, because there's probably some great copy points in there that will then resonate with your audience, because you really want to show them that you understand what they're going through, what their frustrations are. So what I say is you want your copy to resonate with your audience, not repel them, so that when they go to your website, they're going, yes, Antonia understands me. Yes, Antonia gets me. Yes, I want to click on that buy now button, or I want to pick up the phone and call her, or I want to respond with an email. So make sure that that's really clear, that you understand what the product is, who your audience is, because your copy is also going to vary depending on who your audience is.
Right.
So if there are women 18 to 24, it's going to sound very different than if it's a woman who's 45 to 60, right? So keep that in mind. Who is it you're talking to? And don't just, like, if someone says, who's your audience? You don't just say women, because that's pretty broad, And a lot of people go, well, everyone's my audience. I want to sell my product to everybody.
No.
But speaking to everyone is like speaking to no one. Okay.
So let me ask
Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. So in regards to figuring out who your audience is, what if you have, because I often get this question, and I help people through this, but what if they have multiple audiences because they offer different services under the same company? What is your response to that?
So here's what I say. For example, on your website, you have what we call different buckets. So let's say you have a service or a product that addresses women who are 25 to 40, but then, and who are single. But then you have a product that's for women who are 45 to 60 who are married. And actually, let me step back, because I had a client, and this is what we did. My client is a mortgage broker. And one of his audiences were those people looking to buy a home for the first time. So first-time home buyers. Another audience of his were real estate agents who he wanted to resonate with so that they would refer him to their clients who were buying homes. Another audience were people who were refinancing their existing mortgages. So what we did on his website is created a bucket and said, if this is you, if you're a first-time home buyer, click here. And then all the copies spoke about first-time home buyers. If you are a real estate agent, click here. And then it talked about how here's how we can help your buyers, your sellers. Then the next one said, if you own a home and you want to refinance, click here. So you do a separate bucket, which takes them basically to a separate web page that speaks to that specific audience. You can touch on some of the benefits on the home page, but then break it out so that you're actually speaking to each individual audience so that they feel like you hear them, that you're listening to them and you understand their specific issues.
So yes, it does. For those in the audience who are watching and you're thinking, okay, that's the website, you could do the same exact thing with your emails. That's where tagging comes into play, because you have one email service provider and you can talk to multiple audiences at the same time. So,
well, or even different, you can segment your email list. So look at this group, and email them a different message than this group. And you don't have to totally rewrite it even. I've done versions for my clients where there's just one or two lines that have to be tweaked so that that person realizes you're speaking directly to them and not to a different audience.
That's right. All right. Awesome. Is there a mistake number 3 that people make?
Yes, of course. So once you know your product and once you know your audience, mistake number 3 is that your words are missing the mark when it comes to your marketing message. Okay. And what people do sometimes is they write copy that starts with the product instead of starting with the prospect. So for example, let's say you own a gym and you want people to come do their workouts there. Well, and you want them to become members. So the people aren't buying the membership. They're buying what being a member does for them.
Yeah.
Okay. So being a member and going to the gym helps them build strong bodies, helps them stay healthy, helps them with their self-confidence. Those are the bullet points you want to address in the copy, as opposed to buy this membership and you'll get 12 months and it costs you, $9.99. Those are the features. So make sure that your marketing message resonates with your audience by talking to them, not at them.
Right.
Showing them that you really understand. Touch on their emotions. Okay. Marketing copy is really about touching on emotions. So that someone goes, yes, I am frustrated. You get me. Or, oh my God, I do want to build a stronger body and I've had trouble finding time to work out. How are you going to help me? Oh, well, we have this great at-home program that you can watch 20 minutes a day, and build a stronger body. So look at it that way in terms of what's your marketing message that's going to resonate. Again, that word resonate with your audience instead of repel them, and touch on those emotions. And another thing I tell people is to kiss your prospects. The way I say to kiss them is to keep it simple, sweetheart. Okay. So that means when you're writing your copy, you use short sentences, short paragraphs that you really make it conversational, going back to that exercise about sitting across the table and speaking one-on-one. Granted, people know that there's a lot of people looking at your website, but they want to know that you're speaking right to them and to their needs and to their wants and to their desires. So keep it simple when you do that, not by having a really long paragraph, and people won't read it because they're going, where's the important information? That's, make it when they get to the website or when they get to your email, it looks easy to read. It's inviting to their eyes. Okay. So writing copy isn't always just about the words. It's about bringing that visual to them in a way that they go, oh, I want to read more, because they will scan headlines. They will scan subheadings. They'll scan bullet points. But then if those things, I call it pushing their buttons. If it pushes their buttons, then they will go back and read every word. There used to be, I don't know if you've heard about, the long copy versus the short copy argument. And people go, well, my audience doesn't have time to read, so I need short copy. They will make time to read if your message resonates with them.
That's right.
Miss
Deborah, you did it. And then there's also now the medium type of copy, right? So like the happy medium that people are talking about. And honestly, if you know your audience, and tell me if you agree, but I think if you know your audience, if you are speaking to them, it doesn't matter which one you go with. They're going to read it just the same, right?
Yes, because like I said, they're going, ooh, you're pushing my buttons. They may not think you're pushing the buttons, but they're little light bulbs going off in their heads going, yes, yes, yes. I better go back and read every word because I think I need to sign up for this. Or I better go back and read every word because I need to call this person or email this person and find out more. It depends what your objective is with your copy. Are you actually wanting them to, and that's an important thing to know. Do you want them to click a buy now button? Do you want them to email you? Do you want them to pick up the phone? Do you want them to fill out some kind of form, and buy your product? So it's always important to be clear, which brings us to another mistake. I was going to talk about a different one, but this fits in right here, which is people forget a call to action.
Oh my gosh.
A CTA. So it seems obvious that, oh, you're at my website, you should know to call me or email me. No, you need to tell people. You need to say, it's really simple. Just click the buy now button below, or if you want to subscribe to my newsletter, fill out the form below, pick up the phone and call me. And then there's a magic word. And this comes from, let me find the reference. There's a book by a gentleman, his name is Robert Cialdini. Ooh. And his book is called Influence. And in his book, he talks about a study that happened where there's just one word you need to add to your call to action that gives readers a reason to buy, and that increases your results. Do you have any guesses what that one word might be?
Is it now?
Now? No, but that's not bad.
I don't have any other ways.
So let's address it now, because it is important to give your readers an incentive. So say, not just buy now, but get a special offer when you order by February 10th. So you give them a deadline. But let me step back. The one word is actually because. So the study that he talks about in his book is they looked at people who were online waiting to make copies at a copy machine. And somebody wanted to cut in line. Well, when they said, can I cut in line because I want to make copies? They had 93% more people willing to let them cut in line, as opposed to just saying, may I cut in line, or can I get in front of you? But when they said, because, even though the answer to you and me would probably be obvious, because I want to make copies, 93% of the people were more likely to comply and say, sure, you can cut in line.
That's interesting.
When I found that out, which was a couple of years ago, for example, in my blogs, at the end of my blog, I used to say, share your comments below. Well, then I changed it to share your comments because I would love to hear from you. Very simple. Please do this because if you do so, you'll be one of the first 10 to get this special offer. So when it comes to your call to action, make sure you use that word because readers want a reason why they should act.
Yes. So, okay, I was trying to figure out how to say this, and I think now you've helped me. You've assisted me. So when I was explaining to someone about call to action, and I was like, people like to be told what to do. You have to tell them what to do. But now, and they didn't ask, but I'm thinking, well, why do people like to be told what to do? And I'm thinking, because, right? because they like to have direction. Right. And to be told where's the next step, the sequence to move through. So that is a very interesting word that you think, but you don't necessarily write all the time. And there was something else. Oh, so I wanted to say that I found with my clients, the reason why they don't put call to actions or they don't think about them as they're crafting whatever it is they're creating, they have a mind block around asking for the sale or asking for the email. And I think that that's something that has to be addressed and acknowledged, right? So,
well, I'm sure you've heard this, if you don't ask, you don't get. And yes, you might still ask and get a no, but if you don't ask, you don't get anything.
That's right.
So yeah, it's always important to ask. And it's so crazy because so many of us, especially solopreneurs and women in business and men in business even, feel like I don't want to sell. I don't want to be that. And one of my sayings is ditch the pitch, because to me, marketing is about building and nurturing relationships. So if you build and nurture those relationships, you may have heard of the KLT factor, that know, like, and trust. Starts to happen. And then when that happens, then you get people referring you or purchasing from you. But it's a process. So I think if you do that in a way, people want to buy, but they just don't want to be sold to. So when your message resonates with them, then they're going, oh yeah. If you think about people who are coaches, the ones who are really good at what they do, talk to you and really listen to what's your problem, what's the issue you're facing, and then they share with you, well, here's a solution that might help you. Do you want to hear it? Can I share more with you? And then they get to a point of closing, as opposed to, oh, you have a problem, let me sell you my $10,000 program. No, first let me listen.
I can't stand that.
Most of us don't like it,
Oh my gosh.
Sure. But if it's something that
people, they'll write to me and they'll go, sis, I want to sell you. I'm doing this. And I'm like, I'm not related to you, number one.
Why are you calling me sis?
Right. You didn't even say hello or how are you doing? Right? How's your allergy? You didn't ask me anything.
And sadly, a lot more of that is happening since the pandemic. More and more people are feeling stressed and, frustrated. And so there's a lot more people going out and pitching. That's why I say ditch the pitch, because if you build and nurture the relationship first, then the rest can happen. Doesn't always, but what might happen may not be the sale, but you could end up with a referral. So
our partners are amazing.
Yes. I speak a lot about LinkedIn. I do a LinkedIn consulting, and I teach people about creating robust profiles. And what I tell people there is, if you nurture those relationships, that will come, because so many people now are getting messages on LinkedIn in particular, probably other social networks as well, going, hi, Deborah, I think we should connect. And you think, well, why should we connect?
Yeah.
Especially when it's somebody you don't know. And then if you actually do go ahead and connect, the next thing that happens is they pitch you, And
so
that's like,
I on LinkedIn too, but my messages are crafted where I don't ask them to do a virtual coffee with me until like maybe the 4th or 5th message. Because
That's
what
perfect.
And what if you don't like me? I'm not gonna
Yes,
waste
it's
my time,
like,
right? It's crazy.
And those people, I think that you feel connected to, and that you know get to that point of that phone call, it's because you feel like, oh yeah, we're jiving here, you know, and we've taken some time, as opposed to those that just feel like, hey, let me tell you how you're going to make $1 million in 6 days.
Yeah.
You know, let me tell you how you're going to 10 times your business. And I'm like, wait, I don't even know who you are yet.
Exactly. No.
Which,
awesome. Thank you so much, Deborah, for coming on and speaking to us about the copywriting mistakes and how to avoid them. Those tips are golden. I thoroughly learned something new this evening. I'm definitely going to start adding because to my copy. I might even send you my first email with the because wording. Because you had such a good time on our live, I wanted you back, right? So,
well, I'm happy to come back because we had so much fun.
I feel like we did. So I'm going to go ahead, Miss Javon, if you don't mind, I'm going to bring you back on screen so we can all say goodbye to each other. I absolutely love Wednesday nights. I love having Miss Javon with Child and Eats on, and definitely whenever I get to meet a wonderful soul and our special guest of Miss Deborah Jason this evening. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me, Antonia. Nice to meet you, Javon.
It's so nice to meet you too. All right, everyone. If you would like to get in contact with Ms. Deborah Jason, her website is down in the ticker tape. And I told you it's a clever name, right? The Right Direction. Because you can't go wrong with her. So go ahead and book that consultation and get your copy right, because we all will appreciate it. We're reading it. Thank you in advance. All right. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye.